Hey everyone, it's Dan, and in this video we're going to review the Granite Leather Sleeve Case for Palm. This is available from Verizon for $29.99, and it is one of two cases from Granite that act as wallets. The one that I had, you probably saw the review from before. It's kind of a flip case where you put the cards in the flap that opens up. This one's, just like the description says, it's a sleeve. So without further ado, here we go. So I went ahead and got the one in black. Get that. The packaging is really straightforward. On the back here calls out that it's genuine leather, awesome, and it holds 2 credit cards. Okay, so this is it. There's a little paper on the inside that kind of holds it and then gives you a little bit of care instructions and warranty information. But as you can see, all black, tan stitching. Looks like it's a single piece of leather. Starts here, curls away around, kind of like a trifold configuration. It comes here. Very simple branding on the front, nothing on the back. But all in all, very subtle, very stylish. So let's get to the particulars. So go ahead and get my palm. And that just slides in, obviously. But you'll notice it doesn't feel very secure until you hit right about halfway. And then you can feel it kind of grab on. And that just sits snugly. So that's about how far it sits inside the case. I'm going to say that maybe less than between 1/8 and 1/4 inch. And on the sides there, if I could get it to focus, not too much space, but nice slim package. Now here's where the fun begins. I'm going to take my my ID and a debit card. And I have an embossed debit card, right? I'm only putting it up here just so I can stuff it in. So there we go. And so there's the card, and it goes in really tight, like really tight, like ridiculously tight. And you can see here. Now, granted, this is a new case, so I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. But as you can see, it probably looks like it's going to take a little bit of breaking in before the cards can slide in and out a little bit easier. Now, you know, good news, bad news, right? So the good news is that because it is so tight, nothing's going anywhere. I mean, this palm's not going to fly out of here inadvertently. Your 2 cards aren't going to go anywhere. These cards that go in here, I was thinking that maybe you could put like your ID and maybe a little bit of cash, but no, there's no way. I mean, it barely fits the 2 cards, so it might fit one. It'll probably fit 1 card comfortably, but if you're going to carry some cash, you're either doing it in your pocket or you're carrying these cards and another thing and you're putting cash in here. But even then, that's a tall order. But I'm going to give it kudos because again, it does retain a nice, stylish, streamlined look. A very compact design, but I'm going to show you here. So here's where the practicality kind of is in question here. But again, I get it. It's a secure hold. It's not going to, you don't want this stuff flying out. So number one, to get to the phone, you really got to dig and pull it up. And again, my gross sweaty hands, my apologies, but using the earpiece, or you just pinch down real good on it, but that'll kind of get it out. You could probably squeeze on the bottom like a tube of toothpaste. And again, my hands are just naturally sweaty, so it takes a little bit more effort for me to take this out. But there you go, it's out. And you could see as a side effect of that, when I dig in here to get that, you see how that bends back and it cuts against the card. So over time, that's going to wear down. Again, that's natural. I mean, all leather wallets wear down over time. It's not a huge deal, but it's not the easiest thing to get out. And I guess you want it that way because you don't want this thing flinging out of the case when you pull this out of your pocket. So I get it. I understand. It has to be secure. But the real fun is getting your cards out, because man, it's really in there. And I'm at an awkward angle because I've got my camera here, but it's real tough to pull your cards out. And again, I'm getting the benefit of the doubt that this is a new case, probably in the next few weeks or months, as I keep cards in here to stretch the leather out. It's probably going to come out a little bit easier than what it is right now. But this is not a case where you're just going to pop into Verizon and buy the case and then you can expect to use it right away easily on day one, because it's not. It's going to take some breaking in before the cards kind of mold their way around this external pocket to make it a little bit easier to take in and out. And again, I'm simulating my everyday use. I've got my ID and then an embossed card to simulate my debit card, because my debit card is embossed. So really secure case. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt that there we go. That took out. And the magic actually happened. I realized as I was kind of looking in, about halfway down, right about there, there's a little pad on the inside, rectangular pad that extends all the way down to the bottom of the case. And that's why when you first start off, you insert it, no big deal, but then it just comes in contact with the extra padding, and that padding on the bottom is what actually holds this secure. And that same padding, by extension, whether there's something in here or not, is what also helps to keep the cards secure in here too. So, like I said before, I'm not knocking the fact that this holds your palm and your cards with a death grip. I get it, because you don't want the stuff flying out. But do be aware that if you get this, you may be well advised to give it some break-in time before you're able to pull your cards in and out with ease. So that's the review. So that's mostly the review part. But here's my philosophy on this case. When you do the milk runs, right? Milk run, errand run, you go out, you run out, get your stuff, and go into the store and then come back out. Excuse me. So these wallet cases, there's two types of wallet cases again. There's this, and then there's the flip case where you have the cards in the flap portion. So it's like there's two philosophies with these cases. Like, if you're going on an errand run, at least for me, so here's my use case. Let me rephrase this. If I know I'm going on an errand run and I just want to take my palm and my ID and my debit card, and I have probably an inkling that when I go into the store and get in line, I'm probably going to be in line for a little while, then I actually use the other Granite case, the one with the flip case, because between the two, it's easier to get to the palm in the flip case. You just flip it open. While I'm waiting in line, I can check my social feeds real quick, and then when it's my turn to get to the register, I can do whatever I need to do and get out. So that's when I'll use that Granite case. Like, for example, this month, December, in like Walmart on a Saturday night. Most likely, I'm going to use the flip case because the lines are ridiculously long, and so I just, again, kind of want to mark the time and use that case because it's easier to get to the device. But for errands, if I know I'm going to go and just get in, do my thing, and get out, and it's going to be a quick deal, then I'm actually going to go for this, because I just really appreciate the I don't even know how to say it. It's just that there are no moving parts to this. It doesn't flap open. When it goes in my pocket, it's just this smooth thing here. I'm going to put my cards back in. But I can appreciate, despite the death grip that this has on both the palm and my cards, I can appreciate just the simplicity of this design. You know, it's just this nice smooth leather pouch that I could just throw into my pocket. Nothing flaps around, nothing moves. Again, that phrase was that connected without being distracted. This really, in my opinion, is the case that embodies that, well, at least the wallet case that embodies that philosophy, connected without being distracted. I just slip this smooth little leather pebble into my pocket, go run and do my errands. If somebody needs to get a hold of me, they can call me. If I need to call home and make sure that I'm picking up the right item, I can pull the palm out of the pocket and call or message or whatever. Get in, get out, get done, right? But that's why I can appreciate this. So that's for errand runs. Now, continuing my philosophy, quality time, right? Time out with the wife or the significant other or the kids, date night, day at the park, whatever. This is now, whereas the other Granite case was my go-to case for those kind of occasions. I'm going with this one now for those quality time moments. And the reason being is because this case makes it such a pain in the butt to get to your device. Well, it's not awful, but it's still a pain. You know, it makes it so, you know, it's almost a deterrent. And so you have to think, well, do I really want to dig my phone out? Do I really want to dig my palm out to check my social feeds or whatever? Probably not. So it works in your favor towards the connected and not distracted philosophy. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I usually tend to do that with things, but that's how I see this. You know, if I'm out on a date with my wife and I want to commit 100% of my attention to her, without any distractions, but still being able to get it, you know, so if the kids need to get a hold of me or her or whatever, you know, this is the case that's going to do it. And I just have a new appreciation for this. I mean, I've had the Palm for since day one that it's come out. And I do find a measurable increase in time that I spend as far as being with my family in the moment, not staring at a screen because of the Palm. And having this case, again, is an extension of that philosophy, an extension towards that goal. So I know, again, sounds like I'm overthinking. Maybe I am, but, you know, what can I say? The good, to sum it all up, the good things I like about it, it's a great looking case. I love, you know, just in the same way that you can take your Palm, kind of twiddle around, and it's just a nice, compact, beautiful looking object. This carries that or extends that vision even further, because again, it's a nice little compact object that holds just the basics. There's no moving parts. You just put this smooth little leather object into your front pocket and you're off. What I'm not, and time will tell, but at this point, it does make it difficult to take out of the pouch, which again might work in your favor if you want to stay, you know, within your life mode, and also the death grip that it has on the two cards. Again, time will tell. You know, maybe I'll do a long-term review in a few weeks or even a few months when this finally breaks in. But I can appreciate the fact that my cards aren't going anywhere, that they're really in here very secure, and they're not going to fly out and not going to lose it. I'd have to lose the whole thing in order to lose the contents of this case. But all in all, great case. I like it. At first, I was really close to returning it, but then I figured, you know what, give it some time, let the leather break in. Let's go in for the long term on this and see where we go from there. So and I'm glad I decided that, because I actually am growing kind of fond on this case, especially for those use cases I mentioned, especially with the quality time aspects. It really fits into those purposes. But that's about it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them as quickly as I can. And if you're on Facebook, or even if you're not, go ahead and search for the Palm user group over on Facebook. We'd love to have you. If you own a Palm or if you're thinking about owning one, feel free to join our group, ask questions. We've got quite a few people already that have joined, and we're just a collective of knowledge that we'd love to share our user experiences and tips for our uses with the Palm. And like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that too. Again, I am not a professional reviewer by any means. I don't get compensated for any of these at all. I just do this because I love Palm. I love the products that come out for it, and I just want to let people know, especially people who are considering getting a Palm, or they have a Palm and they want to get a case for it or whatever. Hopefully the videos that I've created, both this one and the previous ones, are of some benefit to you. So again, this is Dan. Thank you so much for watching this video and for putting up with my ramblings, and I'll see you on the next one.